Going live. I'm live. Let's see here. Hello, everybody. Only two chat rules. Please be over the age of 17. And please be kind to one another. And those are the two chat rules. And let's see. Hello. Hello, Robin. Hang on a second here. Pop out chat. Okay, that moves it over to there, which is where I want it. Now make that a little smaller and put that over there so it fits nicely. And hello, everybody. Hello, Mona. Hello. It is Sunday and I have a voice. Yay! I have a voice and you can hear it. And I'm not coughing every single word I try to utter, which is a huge improvement over where I was last week, which is why, of course, I wasn't here. Thank you so much, Mona. I missed all of you guys too. Trust me. I literally spent that entire week fighting for every single breath that I took. And I'll tell you what, I never ever want to repeat feeling like that because that was scary. I spent the scariest week that I've ever spent, and literally having to think, breathe, breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, it was not a fun place to be. And it's leaf mold, and it's getting worse every year, and I know that I need to I need to do something. I don't know, move, I guess, maybe to someplace that's not so wet. Hello, Nanimo. And yes, I am feeling much, much better. And, of course, I also say that, but I really ought to. Whoops, hang on. What is going on here? What is going on here? All right, Nanimo. Tell Sarah I'm live and I'm going to shut this thing off. Anyway, it is scary, and I am feeling much, much better. We had a couple of days where it was cooler and drier in the air. Fall is coming. It's not gone. The whole shortness of breath thing isn't gone, but it's much, much better. And in the meantime, I had some happy mail come in. Oh, okay. I had on my list the Monarch pencil. Whoops. Ooh. Did I actually go off and leave that? I did. I left that. I left it on. Turn off that autofocus. There we go. Which, asthmatic bronchitis. And, well, I've never really had asthma. Like, hello, Emily. I've never had asthma. But this has turned into asthmatic attacks. And I did not recognize that right away. Yes. Yeah, I know. We're going to talk about these in just a second. And then look also. Ooh, and boy, they do smell good. Let me tell you. like I said, I never have had asthma. And so I didn't recognize an actual asthma attack until I hit it with, because I have an emergency inhaler, but I've always used it more to just, open everything up and I've never had to actually have it rescue me. But I had to use it to rescue me. And that was frightening, I gotta say. So, and then of course I had no voice because there was no way I could string two words together without my throat showing, shutting down. And I could breathe through my nose and I could breathe through my mouth, but I couldn't talk. And anyway, hello, Karun. Hello, everybody who's here. Okay. So anyway, now these were a wonderful gift from my dear friend Barb Zinger. And she has just been so kind and in sending books and things to try and all of that. Now I have this is the Monarch set of the Black Widow pencils. So I've been reading a lot on Facebook posts and things like that. People are so confused about the whole set of the Black Widows. And so I want to talk about that a little bit today, how the whole set is structured. And then also, who ever heard of glitter crayons? Y'all know that I have a young man in my neighborhood who, because of a set of circumstances, he brings things to my door that are just amazing. Mostly food things, mostly from high-end grocery store stuff that they're going to end up having to throw away, which I am so grateful to get, and I preserve them, put them in my freezer, flash freeze fruits and stuff like berries, stuff that there's just no way that my budget really allows me to to buy those things outright. And so it's just absolutely lovely. But this week he threw in some extra things, and I'm not. This has got to be Amazon returns. All right, that is really what I'm sure that's what's going on here. But in the box were glitter crayons and this silly scents, which are this one's introducing pineapple. And I have seen Kate over at Kate's Coloring and other channels, bring these bad boys out, and everybody all says the same thing. They smell so good, and just judging by the packaging, they're cool to have around just for that. And now these, in looking at these, they don't seem to have very much glitter in them, in sort of looking at them, but we're going to give them a shot and we're going to see how they work. And but let's first talk a little bit. I know that there are a lot of you who probably already know, so I will be quick about this, but and where they're probably well, I may not be able to actually demonstrate. Okay. Monarch pencils, or the Black Widow pencils, have there's components to them, but all together they are really one set of pencils. So if you're gonna get the Black Widows and you want to be serious about getting the Black Widows, get all three of the little 24 tins. So you want the Black Widows, the Scorpions, and the Cobras. You also want the Monarchs. Now, the reason why is because they have, there's Barb Sanger right there. Thank you, Barb, for this wonderful gift. They are 3 different tones of colors, and then the Monarchs are the pastels and the these are basically the midtones. All right. Whereas the others have a tendency to be brights or darks. These are the midtones. And then there's also a set of light skin tone pencils and dark skin tone pencils. If you're going to get just the skin tones, which are apparently a beautiful set. Hang on, let me crinkle alert. Okay. Guess you're supposed to give a crinkle alert ahead of time, huh? Get both sets. Now, I do not have the skin tone set because I don't need it. I don't really color skin, and I'm not going to start coloring skin. It's not, coloring people is not something that I personally enjoy. So, this is 48 pencils, and Black Widows always smell so interesting. But these are 48 pencils, and these are the mid-range, once again, mid-range colors. Shoot, I know that I can get. Is that them? Hang on. Ah! Yeah, that's them right there. All right, of course. Ow, give me my arm back. Thank you. Of course, they would have to be on the bottom of the stack, right? So these are the others. These are the Black Widow. And as you can see, these do not have color markings along the bottom. So that is one vast, I think, improvement to the Monarchs right there. The fact that they are color dipped. Now, that's probably not accurate as far as actual color, but it's better than having no reference at all. Must be, you didn't, wait. Wasn't you. Wait. Well, that's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? I apologize. I apologize to Ms. Melody. I really do. Melody, it was Melody. It was Melody. Melody sent these. See, they came in when I was so sick, and I am so sorry, Melody. I know you're probably watching, honey. I hope that you watched this bar so that you know that I got it right eventually. Thank you, Barb. And Melody and I have been sort of lamenting the just making sure that each other is okay in sort of her crisis and my not feeling well and all of that. So it's so at any rate, so these are the three other sets. So altogether we have what? There's 48, and 48 is 96. 24 is, oh, somebody help me with the math there. 96, that's 120. So there's 120 plus the skincare set, for the skin set. And that makes it, that makes up the bulk of, or the whole of the Black Widows. Now, I have yet to swatch these out. I have these all swatched separately. I want to swatch these separately, but I also want to swatch the entire set together over, a number of pages. And then I will be prepared to talk about them further. They are a very, very nice pencil. They are soft core like a Prisma, but they're stronger. They don't chill, or they don't snap and break as much, and they are a very nice coloring pencil as well. And wait, Emily has a very nice swatch sheet for this set. You do? And is it someplace where I can go download it? And I would love that, to not have to do the the drawing of something out, to be able to swatch it on. I need to get myself, one of these days, I will get myself one of those cool swatch books, but people love my swatch book. I don't know why. So I just keep doing it like this. Of course, because I use a lot of water, and I also have them sort of in here in the order the coloring supplies are in the order in which they arrived in my studio, until I get to a point where I have to, like, the Inktense moved because the pages fell out in here, and I had to add them to new pages here. And so hang on just a second. Oh, and okay, Miss Kenny sends greetings, and she's lurking today. So hi, sweetheart. I get your rest, and I will read that more thoroughly later. Blah. Lost my train of thought. But at any rate, so for me, it's also sort of a mental record of when, when approximately I started using a particular product. And so that's another reason why I keep them in there. But yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, one of those would be great. Swatch set a sheet in her Facebook group. Okay, great. I think I am a member there, but I will double check. I will double check. So I'm not going to use these today, but I just wanted to talk about, the fact that the entire set right now rests at 120 plus the skincare, or the skin colors, the light and dark skin colors. And I don't know, are there 24 of those? There's 12 of each. So it's 144. Shara would be in the position to know, because she has full set syndrome. So there's no doubt that she has them. No, she's not. She is Nanimo. She's not talking. She's lurking today. So she just wanted to let me know that she was there. And I probably didn't need to let you guys know, but I did anyway. And so I can hardly wait to do this. So Melody, honey, thank you very, very much. These are so pretty. And these are all the colors that I sort of said were missing out of all of these. These are beautiful colors, but it's like you could tell there were all the midtones were missing. And see, where are they? Those are the Magno pastels. Love those, by the way. I need to get back to using this. I am now at a point where I have so many coloring supplies that it's hard for me to rote them, all of them. And so I want to be able, I want to try to get back to that, being able to, I just want to make it a little bit warmer in color. There we go. Okay, so you can see that these are pretty intense colors in the Black Widows. Those are all three of them, all three sets. And so these are, you know, like, for instance, there were no pinks. There was the Delicious Pink was as light a pink as there was, I think, in the entire set, as I mean, tonally. And so now there are more, you know, there's actually a light pink and a mushroom and, you know, various shades. So I'll look forward to doing that. Hello, Susan. And I've been seeing your coloring work that you're doing, and it's so lovely that your eyesight is getting a little better. And, you know, I'm so pleased for you. Now, of course, I don't know which ones are which. So these are the Widows. Okay. They all have different color writing, and they all have a different little emblem down here at the end, which sort of tells you what they are. So those are cobras. And I happen to love the tin art, but I know a lot of people get sort of freaked out by stuff like that. So this one is probably much nicer for those folks. Louise. Look, we brought her out. All right. She's like, oh, for heaven's sakes, you're just not going to let me, are you? Hello, Kenny. All right. But let's actually look at the glitter crayons for a second. I don't know that I want to, although I may, who knows. Let's look at these glitter crayons. Because you just never know, right? Is there anything better than a set of crayons? Ooh, they smell so good too. Let's try something red. See if maybe there's any What's interesting is that they sort of stop coloring when they get a buildup of glitter under the you know, under where you're coloring. All right, so sadly, when you brush the the dust away, you are left with nothing. So I might have to call this a gimmick. See, look, you can't, it should not do that, right? Even a crayon should color. And yet what happens is it's building up. It's building up the the glitter right there, and then it won't color at all. So I'm gonna call this a gimmick and pass to the next product. Yeah. See, now I should have left them. I should have just taken one out of the box, but I thought they were going to be cool. Well, I did. I thought they were going to be cool because they were pretty. Because then I didn't buy these. They are, what they are right now is a donation to a school or something like that. Okay, there we go. So that is that. But these I've got a little more hope held out for. They are twistables, and I never used twistables. Okay, we've learned our lesson from the first one though. Okay, so now, but they're also, oh, now see, that's a nice experience. Oops, move you down. That is a nice experience. That's how a crayon should color, right? Twistables are fun. I agree. I agree. Let's see if we can. Oh, yeah. So you can lighten them up, lighten up the pressure. Maybe make some berries. Maybe add a little. Let's see. What color is that? That smells really good. What color? That's like a. They all kind of smell the same. I think this one is probably the pineapple. But I think they all kind of smell the same. Let's see if there's a green in there. There's a green. Okay, so we'll make a. Make a nice little leaf here. Wow. I have no idea what's going on with that. I will tell you that as of this morning, I could actually see art in my head again. I am so happy. I could see it in my head again. It's been missing for so long, guys. Want to know why I haven't drawn anything? Because I can't see any art in my head. It was all filled with garbage, and now I can see art. Okay. So now all right, so all right, these are cool. Sorry, I don't mean to get in the, I can't really get in the zone here, can I? These are cool. Maybe we'll make that, put some little dots or some, there we go. Make those raspberries instead of cherries. Trying to find a little point on those. Just a little rough berry work there. Of course, in my own art, I would, yeah, okay. These are a win. These are a win all the way around. So, like in the Twistables, I can recommend those as just a bit of fun. So if you see those anywhere, go for them. If you see the glitter crayons, steer clear. Feeling a little like Jazza here. Although he's got about 200 times the personality. Anybody else watch Jazza? I love Jazza. He is just hilarious. He always makes me laugh. When I feel, when I'm feeling down about something, I just go watch Jazza, and he's cool. Of course, it helps that he's nice looking. He's got that wonderful accent. Okay, so yeah. So definitely, guys, the Twistables, they smell fantastic, and steer clear of those. Hi, Joe Beth. How are you, honey? I know you have been absolutely under it. Okay. Okay, so now I know I promised to finish this, and that is why I'm still in here, right? I'm in here because I promised to finish this. For those who may not, I mean, I can't imagine there's anybody out there who doesn't know I've been working on this, but this is Colin Thompsons Coloring Book. The book itself is out of print. Hopefully they will print more copies. Judy, thank you. Thank you. And yes, I am. Thank you very much. It is, let's put it this way. It afflicts me this time of year. And I mean, my breathing has been getting steadily worse. I'm getting older. I still smoke. I shouldn't. I know. A lot of that. But I've never felt like that. I mean, I've never either that virus got into my house, which I cannot imagine that it did. But if it did, that would be the only that was the only symptom I had. But I will say that when you cough like that for a really extended length of time, your body gets really tired. And so, like, for instance, if I ate food, I didn't have the energy to both digest the food and stay awake. So I would eat, and then a wave of exhaustion would just take me down for 2 hours. And then I would wake back up. And then I would still be fighting for breath. And the more I was fighting for breath, the more I was leaning on my arms, which actually is the worst thing I should do. You can do. What you need to be doing is pulling up on some sort of a weight, because you want to relieve the pressure from your chest. Instead, I was putting it all on my shoulders, which just made my breathing worse, and la da 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 da. And yeah, so it's been a fight. It has just been a real fight, and It also, guys, I'm not discounting the idea that it could easily have been really fed into by the anxiety. And the anxiety, of course, was over the fact that I am a political person, and this was a really contentious several months, and so let's just say I woke up this morning feeling all sunshine and light, and call it good. But there's nobody crowing. Nobody is crowing about any darn thing. Not in my world. We're just happy to hit the reset button. Worry about the rest of it later. Okay. I am cleaning off all of that. Judy, thank you very much for that for the super chat. Thank you. That is so appreciated. And I think it's a lot of it, Nana, has been the has been the tension. You know, the tension has I regardless of what side of the issue or issues that face the United States, you know, whether it's income inequality or if it's, you know, equal justice for all, or if it's, you know, all of the issues that actually face the United States, you know, places in the economy where things could be better, all of that, that is all that's all different than what this was. This had nothing to do with politics. This was all about hate, and whether or not that's how we wanted to live. You know, did we want to live with hate and fear 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? No. Answer, no. So let's, like I said, I am just delighted to have hit the reset button. The rest of it will, you know, this is the United States, baby. We've got a constitution. And it guarantees certain rights, and by darn, we have the right to demand them if we want. So that's what we're going to do. Doesn't mean anybody's listening, but at least we have the right. At least we have the right to gather and shout. Okay, now I want to sort of skip over the minutia of the detail here, because I know that when Barb was working, and she sent me a little photograph of it, there is this little spot right here, and we just don't know what this thing is. It kind of looks like an ostrich with its head smooshed. It kind of, to me, it looks like a heart. You know, this is a whistle. I know that. And this is, you know, this is something back here that's like a world, it's like a forest in there with stuff growing inside this building that's sitting behind. You can sort of see all the way through the ruin. I don't want to deal with that minutia right this very second. What I really want to do is I want to do some, because, you know, I did sort of gray and pink stone here. We did sandstone in this building, brick here, wood shingling here. So I want to make this one bluestone. And And so that is what I'm going to do. And we're going to give this a try. And one of the things I want to do is I want to mix some color over here. Now I have learned that I want to mix. Ooh, how's that? Okay. So this is black over here, right? So I'm going to mix that black and that blue sort of together. All right, and then I want to add maybe a little bit of this lighter blue. What I'm aiming for here is a wash that I could put on the building that is going to sort of mimic a really light shade of Payne's Gray. Because I want to use the Payne's Gray pencil to do my, now that looks, yeah, see, that's exactly what I want. So, all right. So now I'm going to take my water brush, which is probably going to dilute it even further. And I'm just going to coat the entire building with that. Even where the light is coming. Because that's going to give me my sort of hint of blue. And that's really all you want, is just a hint of blue. You can make it as blue as you want. I mean, you know. Let's see. Let me see if I can't get the focus a little bit better for you. Okay. And I don't, this paper is perfectly fine. It does not bleed through the ink with the Inktense. And Payne's Gray is is sort of a blue gray to begin with. And keep in mind that this will dry quite a bit lighter than it goes on. Okay. Now up here, it's going to be just a little bit darker. One, because the colors are concentrating down, but also because you've got that roof overhang there. All right, and whoops, here as well. And I'm not being, I'm not being super duper fussy with it as far as making sure I get every corner. I'm just, because I can, I can fix any mistakes with, or not mistakes, but, fix any color balancing when I do a layer of a darker blue or, a darker gray. as the case may be. Now I also can carry it over. Now that I've got this, I mean, you can see that I don't really have a whole lot left, but I've got a little bit left, and I can then do all of this. And I just sort of one stroke it, you know? It's not, it's a base color, and so it's really sort of forgiving. And because this is grayscale, if I never went any further with adding detail, it would still be fine. Okay. So, and that, you know, that to me, that is one of the things that that I look for, especially if you're going to be doing little detail work. And I hope my focus is okay. I should look and find out. Hi, Robin. And yeah, are there still, does anybody know, are there still copies of the special book? I think it's called A Busy World. Is the name of it, is the name of the issue on Anthem Publishing, The Coloring Heaven. Okay, so now then I can do that, and then when I go to put in like a yellow or whatever, it will the blue underneath it will still be fine. But I like the way that that sort of, even though like this was gray, this was Payne's gray actually. This was, I think I used the neutral gray and then a little bit of the Payne's gray over here. So you can see that you can get to the same spot, but I mixed that one myself. So there is no Payne's gray in here, but you can mix your own Payne's gray. If you just simply know the colors, which would be blue and black, a whole lot of water. Payne's gray. Maybe a little tiny touch of the lighter blue as well, just because we had it handy. Okay, now this also could be, because see, this was all part of the same building as well. So let's show what we can do with what we did on the other. There's the Payne's gray, and let's see, I think it was the neutral, or was it the, sorry, I got to figure out what I did. It was the charcoal. Okay. No, it wasn't. It was the neutral. No, it was the charcoal. Sorry. It was the charcoal gray. So let's go to that. That's the Indian ink. That's the neutral. Okay, that's the Chinese ink. Good heavens. How many of them are there? Ah. This is, okay, there's the charcoal gray. Let's see. Positive effect on so many of you. Aww. Judy. Thank you. I don't know what I do to do that. They still have copies available. Okay, good. I'm sure that they okay. Louise, and by the way, I saw your post about possibly retiring. Are you actually going to do that? Don't do that. I mean, well, do that if that's what you want to do. But okay. So you're off to bed, up early again tomorrow, um, and enjoy your work week, Louise. And thank you for that kind word, Judy. That's very nice of you. I really don't feel like I do very much in the world. I just try and be positive and and fair and to see everybody's point of view, like and to see everybody's point of view, because you can't ever understand the issues that affect other people until you are able to see their point of view by imagining that you are in their shoes. That's what empathy is. So, no bad folks out there. Just being positive and kind is more than enough. it, it, I've always, I shouldn't say that I've always been so positive. That isn't true. There was a time when I was not, and although I've never been, I've never, uh, I've never lived my life from the point of I can't. It's always been I can. You know, always, and that has to do with the strong women that I was raised by. You know, and your point of view is your. You guys, you're going to give me a swelled head. You are. So don't do that. Um, but there's why can't you? That's why it's it's like people who say well they say I can't. Well, why can't you? Why can't you? I can't afford a college education. How about you go get a library card? You know, and we'll do it together. We'll sit and we'll we'll read and we'll discuss. We'll do all the stuff that they do in a college class. You'll have the education. What you won't have is the sheet of paper. Do you need the sheet of paper? Would you rather have the education? Excuse me. I was brought up to want the education, so there's I saw a great Facebook post. My friend Kay um, is she moderates the artist group that I'm in, or the authors group, and it says something about, she says, I don't know quite how it happens. I start out looking for one thing and I end up somewhere else. And she says, I was doing research for some kind of a electronic tool that that was new on the market, and she ended up um, being sort of led from one place to another, and now she's studying witchcraft in or the history of witchcraft in Ireland. And it's just curiosity. You just got to be curious. I'm just always curious. Okay, so that, we just did that with this, sort of trying for the same effect, a little bit different color. And what I'll do is I'll change it up a little bit by taking a wash, right? A tiny little wash of some yellow ochre, right? We're going to make it go all the way down with a whole lot of water to a very, very nice little wash. And then we're just going to add a tiny little bit of it on top of that to get, make it somewhat different, because you can. All right, and then now this is sort of slate gray. And that, to me, that's what Payne's gray is. Payne's gray is sort of slate gray. When I see a set that's got a slate gray in it, that's usually what I'm expecting, is something along the lines of a Payne's gray. So we need to add maybe Kathy, I wasn't here last week. I was just yeah, exactly, Shara. I was not here last week, so you didn't miss me. Because I took for the first time since I started. I actually missed a Sunday that wasn't caused by a power outage or something like that. I've missed Sundays before, but always because there's been a power outage or something along those lines. Just going to try and add a little bit of that and see if it warms that gray up. I don't necessarily want to change that gray, although let's see if we throw a little bit of that in on top of it. Just see what it does, because that's the worst thing that could happen. What is the worst thing that could happen if we just try and see what it does? We could succeed or we could fail. Either way, we will have learned something. And that is what I mean about staying positive. That is how you stay positive. You just have to live from you live from a position of no fear. Because like I say, I also am not. I have far. One of the most interesting stories that I ever read was The Green Mile, and because that's sort of how I've always felt. When the world suffers, I suffer. It's a palpable physical thing, and I've only actually been taken down a couple times. One of them was, of course, the morning after Sandy Hook. Can't go there. And the other one was briefly for about 5 minutes yesterday afternoon. So just adding a little bit of decoration on this window. Not all of the panes, just a few of them. of red. And then, see now look, I'm going to end up getting into this. I'm going to end up getting into this. Just take a little tiny bit of that and mix it. But for different reasons, you know, one in gratitude and the other in grief. Okay, there we go. See, now something interesting is going on in that building, and they have pretty windows to go with it. You got tired of, you just got tired of missing Christine. Aww. Ooh, chicken and vegetable soup. That sounds wonderful. Let's see here. Well, hi, Karen. Wow, zucchini kitties in the house. I absolutely love everything you color. You know I do. And of course, I really, 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 I actually study your work. I really do. I watch you color all the time. And you're so good. Hello, Crystal. And hello to all of the people who have come in that I have not greeted personally. Hello, Donna. And hello, Kathy. And let's see here. I think I've got everybody else, although I may not have. Y'all know how I am. And yes, me too, Kenny. It doesn't it make you feel special when Karen comes? It's like it does. It makes me feel like, oh yay, she came to my show, yay. Nothing quite like being a superstar. All right, so now let's. I'm gonna sort of throw back a little bit to what I did here and go for sort of a golden, rusty brick kind of thing going on here. So I'm going to take a little bit of the amber and just sort of work it a little bit in just a few spots. Okay, and then I am going to grab the baked earth, which also is my favorite sort of terracotta color. Now, keeping in mind that you don't need very much Inktense. You really don't. Okay. Then I'm also going to choose the madder brown. The madder brown. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the madder brown in over here on some of my side areas, down maybe a few of those blacks where they are, the dark shadows. Maybe a little bit up there, maybe a little bit right there. I'll leave that center, and I'm going to make that center a bit more tan, which is going to pull it into the gold. So I want that area to look a little more light. So we just added a ton of colors here, right? And that's what we want, because brick is, by its nature, it is mottled and old looking. It's got, it's had stains on it. It's had weather. It's had stuff dripping. You can work a little bit of it off. This paper has been really good for the Inktense. Now I am, brushing off quite a bit of this, right? Because I don't want it to, and keep in mind that it will, when it dries, it'll be a little bit better. But I do want to just sort of blur that a little bit. Because right now it's looking kind of funky. But it will look better. Okay. Okay, now. That the madder brown is very, very red. And I think it would be a great color for rosewood. If you were coloring something that was rosewood. Okay. So now we're just going to leave that alone, and we're going to let it, we're going to let it settle, and it's going to become its own thing. And, so some of it is a little more golden. Well, maybe that part's been exposed. And, we'll see if we need to make any adjustments. If something looks really ugly or, something like that, we can just do that. We'll go back to our neutral or our charcoal brown. It's like lost, I've lost it again, right? The Payne's gray and the charcoal gray. Yeah. All right. The charcoal gray. And yeah, I think the thing I love most about the way that Zucchini Kitty colors is that she colors sometimes without coloring it, with just a hint of color. And I don't know how to do that. And I try to do it, and to me, mine comes out looking funky, and hers comes out looking perfect every time. So it's a skill. It's a skill to know where that stuff goes, and I'm trying to get her to teach me, or I'm trying to absorb it. But okay. So I'm just trying to leave my little corners there darker. And, if you decide later to come in and maybe darken up little bitty details, fill stuff in, because one of the things about a picture is when you look at it and it's flat, let's say you look at it and kind of going, oh, it's sort of flat. I'm not really happy with it yet and all of that. It's because it isn't done. You haven't, you've only gotten to stage 2, and maybe you need to go to stage 4. Did you miss much? Oh, no. Well, other than the fact that we were all singing your praises. Okay. Yeah, Karen said, he says, the girl you recently did is a princess from his preschool. Ah, that's adorable. Okay, so now we have another one of these windows. And I like the, I like the, see, I like the fact that when you do a little bit of modeling, you know, of stuff, yeah, focus sucks on that. Sorry. Oh. It just doesn't, it's not good. I don't like that focus. There we go. There we go. When you do a little bit of color, you know, just a hint or two, when you're not your impression coloring, excuse me, that's what I'm talking about. When you're impression coloring, you want to give the impression that there's something going on behind the glass. And so you don't have to be perfect with it. You can, you know, do a little red. So maybe these two, this one over here, gotta move my camera so I can see that you can see. And this one over here, shopped at the same uh, wallpaper store. So they have the same wallpaper in the thing. Okay, you're going to have to go lay down with an ice pack. Joe Beth, it was lovely to see you too. I guess that the answer is no, you will not be streaming at 4 o'clock. Honey, I do hope you feel better. I really do. And I hope the MRI shows something definitive that there's something they can do about, you know, and, and, and that would be wonderful. That there's there's something that could be done. None of us wants to, be told that. I had a early on when I first started drawing. I got contacted by a guy. His name was Frank Steele, and he lived in England. And he was talking to me about my art and how it meant something to him. And it was probably the most touching thing that I had ever received it. But in his email, he was talking about the doctors had basically told him that that there was nothing. He was old. He was old. He said he was old. That there was nothing more they could do for him, and so that was, and so my wish is that nobody ever hears that. And if you do hear that, that your road to the end of suffering is not lengthy. Or I should say any more lengthy than you want it to be. How about that? Okay, so I just added a little bit of red there. And then we'll add, I'm really just sort of going back and forth, making color. So maybe we'll do a little red or a little yellow. For this window. All right, and then now this looks like a passageway into someplace else. So that also is sort of yellow. So we'll make that. Don't know what's going on in there, but that's cool. And I guess this, we need to make that back to our grays. Although why? Why would that have to be gray? It doesn't have to be gray. It could be any, because look, that's not brick, or maybe it is brick. Maybe it is brick. Doesn't have to be brick. It can be whatever color we want. Well, it would probably be easier. Heck with easy. Let's find out. Pardon me while I have this conversation with myself. Sorry, I forgot y'all. Bugs are cool as long as only a pick. I don't have a problem with bugs, even if they're not a pick. The other day I walked out in the living room and I was like, wait a minute, there's something wrong in this room. I looked over on the wall and sure enough, there is a gecko. Now, how there's a gecko in Virginia, I don't know. Apparently we have geckos here. There was a gecko on the wall. And I just thought, I thought, well, what am I going to do about this? It was another possum situation. So I simply walked over to it with the cup, basically, that I had in my hand. And just put the cup right over the gecko and, sort of slid it up the wall until I could feel the gecko in the cup. And then I slapped my hand over the top and opened the front door and, of course, let it out. Or put it outside on the front lawn. Of course, now the problem is the grass was so tall, I was a little worried that the gecko, couldn't really move around, but he seemed to do fine. And then the lawn guy showed up the next day, so I hope he didn't run over the gecko. All right, so I just decided that we'll just do that around there. Do a little rock. Do a little rock. I cannot believe that it is already 3:25. Once again, where in the world does the time go? All right, now there needs to be something here. There needs to be something in here needs to be pretty gold or maybe I don't know, maybe that needs to be metallic of some kind. I just want it to be, yeah, all right, wait. Here we go. Because it needs to be fun. There needs to be something going on in here that's a little more fun. All right. So now I'm going to take a little teeny tiny brush and a pretty, ooh, how about that? Okay. First let's put a little bit of that in there. Now these are my little homemade metallic watercolors that I did with the Pearl-Ex powders. And I have, I am going to make a set of these that we're going to be giving away. I just want to, but so many people have the Coloro and the, oh, what were they? Finetech? Finetech Coloros already. But hopefully I'll be able to catch a few that, or maybe one or two that don't. Okay, so let's see if that is enough. I just want to, you know, something, feeling the need for something metallic. Something that we can gold plate. And so I've got this really fine little brush. Yeah, why not? So what that is apparently a ball of some kind. Now that it went too far, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to take that, rinse that off. See if I can clean up that edge just a tiny bit because it needs to be straight. Now it doesn't look like I want it to look, so you need to, if I do this, if I go too far, I don't want to go too far with it. There we go. So yes, all right. And why that's gold clad, I don't know, because somebody decided to see what it would look like if it was gold clad. Let's see if there's something on the other side that we can match it to. No, it was just a thought. That's, you know, y'all know I watch Beau of the Fifth Column, right? So that's how he ends every video. Well, it was just a thought from a thinking man. Although even he, toward the end there, started to get a little apolitical. He was supposed to maintain his neutrality throughout the whole thing. Boots Mama. Actually, you know, this is really it. I do too. I do too, Boots Mama. I absolutely do too. And so for me, this was really an exercise in breaking it down. Break it down into the individual element, the individual Nanimo, is that the actual coloring book? Is it back in print? Because I also know that there are some of his drawings in the Busy World edition of recent edition of Coloring Haven, Coloring with a U, Haven magazine or Heaven magazine, available through Anthem Publishing, and there is an Etsy shop also that has editions of this, which is where Miss Shara is the one who gave me this. She had a copy. She had 2 copies, and she sent me one, which was so generous of her. Once again, and that was really just sort of an exercise in. I almost want to. Actually, that's what I really want to do. Let's see if we can. That's what it needs. Right there. It needs just that tiny, tiny little acknowledgement that this building stands proud of it. Because, and that maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need to, whoops, Payne's Gray. Yes, maybe that's it right there. Okay. That's you know when something is bothering you and you just can't quite put your finger on it, and that's what it was. It was I was losing the dimension of this wall. You know, this wall was being broken up by that mistake. And so these are the I made these. Yeah, I make these. I made these. This is Pearl-Ex powder and gum Arabic. Okay. Which is, I suspect, what most of the watercolors that are the metallic watercolors are that are on the market in one form or another. Okay, so now we can now go back to our, and you see what I mean with the blue, in using that sort of mottled blue color at the beginning, because of the grayscale, we don't have to go over this. It already looks like tonal grays. And I got a video on it that I did, Boots Mama, that is still today the most watched video I've ever made. Is the one on do-it-yourself watercolors, which is just amazing to me. And that's what it's called. It's called DIY. It's the only one that I have that's got DIY in it. I know. I don't remember exactly what it's called. It's in one of my playlists, so. Okay. And look, guys, I've actually made it all the way through, and I have not, I'm going to knock on wood, have not coughed once that I'm aware of. Okay, so we still have some little minute details to get in here. And then, of course, there's that, which is the, there's this face. And I don't know exactly what I want to do with that. If I want to darken, I guess what I want to do, make sure I've got spray. I want to add a little bit of dark because this face is getting lost. So let's add a little dark around it, and then we're going to add a little bit just out here off of it. And I still haven't decided if it's day or night on this because we were going to make it night. But we'll have to see. Just want to fade all of that out. I just don't want to lose the little guy. Sorry that the pen is between the light and the work. Okay. Yeah, after all, I mean, it's really important to have a screaming guy hanging out on the edge of your building, right? Okay, and all right. So, for those of you who might not know what this book actually physically looks like from the outside, it is Colin Thompsons Coloring Book. And, of course, the pictures in it are just sort of amazing and very, very busy. But, once again, when we talk about doing these scary books, because this is a perfect example of one. I would love to do this on, say, we've got 1, 2, because one of these would take about probably about a show to get all the little details, based upon what we've been doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 20 shows right there. And look, I mean, this is so cool because look, if you use this as practice, on just how to, do doors and different little, you can practice coloring, playing with your colors, doing all of those types of things. These are square. Took forever. Exactly, Karen. It's like, it's just, yeah, and you could do each one differently. Each one in its own little shelf world. But the thing about this work and the thing about artists' work in general is it lets your imagination fly. And Colin Thompson's work does that for me. Now, for other people, it may be other work. I don't know what inspires you. You need to find the work that inspires you. Don't worry if you don't want to color what everybody else is coloring. If you are not a pretty girl, I'm not a pretty girl art colorist. I'm not going to do it. I don't think, Karen, in your heart of hearts, that you are either. You really love, I find, because I certainly don't see you coloring it very often. Um, but I really love just mind twisted art, what I call mind twisted art. And I love Kirby, but his artwork is confusing. I love Colin because his artwork is funny. It's humorous. It's, it is, it's thought out, and of course it's library based. So it's right there. It's already up my alley. Um, but like the English villages in the middle of the sunflowers and the English roses, and uh, the idea of the little uh, I just noticed those just now, the little balconies and people walking between the tree or between the these sort of massive sunflowers. It's just, yeah, finding the little bits is some fun. Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. And but it's that discovery of the just something completely bizarre, or completely humorous, or uh or you're coloring one of these balconies or one of these things, and you realize that there's people in it somewhere, or like the dog. There's the dog and is that hang on, is that a dog and a cat? A dog and a cat in the balloon. Or maybe it's two dogs. I don't know. Well, I guess you can't really see that, can you? See if I can get you down there. Yeah. I'm thinking dog, other dog. Yeah, probably dog, other dog. Other dog is in love with blue dog, or big white nosed dog. Because I don't think it's a cat. Anyway, it's one way to keep your pets entertained. Tie them put them in a balloon and stick them in the sky. A dog and a chicken. I don't know. It could be a chicken. I think whatever it is. It's got big ears, so it could be a dog. It could be another cat. It could be a cat. It could be something with big ears. Um, but as you just sort of look at these, and they're just hilarious. They're just hilarious, and of course, the English have a particularly uh, interesting sense of humor to begin with. So, especially when it comes to their artwork, uh, and so many fabulous libraries to draw inspiration from, and so many stories, and so much. There's just all of it is just never. It's never ending. It's never ending curiosity. I think that's what this particular art reads to me. It reads me curious. I want to know about it. I want to know more about it. And I hope that I have a neighbor who knows that I can't get out and do my lawn anymore. I used to be able to, but because of uh, in the heat, I in the heat I can't do it because it's too hot. And in this time of year, I can't do it because if I go out there, I can't breathe. So they find me collapsed in the front yard. So he's out there right now. I can hear him mowing my lawn. Bless his heart. Okay. I'm confused as to what's going on here. Is this a... because this seems to be draped outside or over this. It's like maybe this is an outside bath, and these are towels that are draped over the edge of the wall. So that's the story that I'm going to tell myself about what is going on right here. All right. And see. So if that's the case, then what do we want to be going on with this? I think that I want this to be a, because I still have, stuff going on here. There's all other stuff going on that I need to pay attention to what it's doing. So I want to make sure that I don't, that I don't make it some completely bizarre color that just isn't going to work. All right, so I'm going to make this sort of a pea green towel for right now, right? But it's going to have orange stripes. And, or not orange stripes, but it's going to have things. There we go. Not things. I don't know. You don't know what I mean. All right, so there, that's what I mean, right there. It's going to have those. And in that color, not orange stripes, orange dots. And not orange, but this is yellow ochre, by the way. And I'm just making some polka dots. So this is like a beach towel. Right? It's my world, my imagination, and that's what I'm going with. All right, then on here, I want to have I want this one to have little red ones. Right? Only it's going to have red stripes. So it is, that's the bath where they're actually in the there's an outside bath, and those are their towels. Why not? And mostly because whatever that is, it's not like here. It's not where it's where it's torn away. Whatever this is actually laying on the outside of that building. So now let's take some willow brown. Here. And I really am just making it up as I go. And that is, when you're doing a piece like this, that is the key. You just have to be able to just don't overthink it. You know, just go with how it makes you feel. Go with what you think you see. All right, so there is the mustard. You know, I love my mustard. So we're gonna bring that out here. Okay. Add a little bit there. Just doesn't have to have rhyme or reason. It just has to. Just has to look in your mind's eye like you want it to. And then you just try to get it there. Spots. Would be ashamed to hang those under crackers out. Yeah, they could be drawers. That's true. I'm going for beach towels. I would much rather they be beach towels. Actually, the thought that they were underwear never even occurred to me. They could be underwear in your world, Dana. If they want to be underwear, they could be. Let's see. This is the willow again. All right. So let's want to make that dark, and then I just want to pull it out. Without changing the actual color. All right, now I do want to go ahead and I've been kind of waiting for this to dry to see what I wanted to do with it. Here's what I want to do. I want this to go ahead and be a darker Payne's gray up here at the top. And then I could pull it out. I almost decided to go with like a copper clad. And I guess I still could. But I think that just the dark Payne's gray will probably be a little more versatile in the end. And because I have this metallic paint, I can always change it to copper later if that's what I want. You know what I mean? So it's your picture and you get to make all of the decisions and the choices because there's no right in this world. Well, there is right. Just like character matters, there is also right. But there's no right way to color. Not in your own coloring book. Can you imagine if there was only one accepted way of doing anything and then you would never and nobody would ever try anything new? How boring that would be. I wouldn't. That's not a world I would want to live in. I'm telling you. Okay, so that's the outside bath. There's now, of course, the fact that it is leaning to the outside has to do with the idea. Oh, and this obviously needs to be gray because that's part of the building. So that sort of informs that now. Okay, so there's the charcoal. super light, and then a little bit more of the Payne's gray there in the corner. Okay, make that. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. So that the reason why it's leaning is because, of course, and the reason why it's pushing down is because that all the weight of all of that water, right? The weight of all of that water in the bath is pushing down on this house and causing the whole thing to collapse and let go. Yeah, that'll work. 40-mile-an-hour winds right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're out there in the desert. So loud and cold. Oh, I know. Oh, the winds are at this time of the year are generally, because do you guys get the Santa, do you get, you don't get the Santa Ana winds. Trying to think of the pass that goes out there. But anyway, yeah, I don't like wind either. Not when it blows hard like that. Well, that would be useless for me. Don't confirm to normal. Oh, wait, well, that would be useless for me. Don't conform to normal in my coloring at all. Yeah, there is no normal coloring. There is your coloring. There is, there are as many ways to color as there are colorists. Yes, you got the Santa Ana hot winds. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes. That's what I thought. Oh, good. Oh, I am so glad, Karen. Please do. Please definitely do. Please enjoy your day, the rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate your being here. And to Emily and Shara and all the page owners who have been in. Zucchini Kitty, if you do not subscribe to Zucchini Kitty, you are missing something. And I am going to definitely be going to Emily Illustrator's page on Facebook. And she pops into my thing and politically blowhards. Political. I love that. Yeah, it held that, so we're just gonna. Well, I didn't think about that before I approved it. Nobody is crowing. Nobody should be crowing. The bottom line is we got a lot of work to do to bring just waking up to some kind of normalcy back into, just waking up. Just waking up and not having to worry. Anyway, hey everybody. I want to say thank you so very, very much for being here today. And thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for all the messages that I got when I was gone, asking after my well-being. I'm sorry that I did not get back to anybody. I was, like I said, I was really really just fighting to stay alive, and and then of course all the other stuff going on. So I am so glad that you are sticking with me, and we are gonna finish this. Gemma, thank you. Oh my goodness, what a sweet thing. Thank you so very much. And uh, all and whenever you guys do that, I don't get any kind of a report, individual names or anything like that from YouTube. But if you want to drop me a note at my email, which of course is CLAldridgeArt at gmail.com, and it's in the links below, uh, I would be happy to send you a personal thank you. Um, and you guys, as ever, you are the light in my lives. So please know that once again, this morning I woke up seeing art. I could actually see art. What that means is that I am going to be drawing again. Yay. You have no idea how frightening that was to not be able to draw. And so look for actual real videos and more art. I do also want to say, apologizing to Sue Curry, whose book is being published and who I am publishing it. And I am so far behind on that. So there will be a new Sue Curry book as well. So, and hopefully this week, this week. Um, Bye, everybody. You're wonderful. Thank you for being here. Until we meet again, color something pretty.